His Grace Sarva-drik, Prabhuji. I'm audible, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you so much, Prabhuji. My humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Thank you so much. You have come again on our request. Prabhuji, today's topic is the spiritual master, the first chapter of Adi Lila of Chaitanya Caritamrita. Those who have not joined before, so I just give you a brief introduction within 2 minutes. 1973, His Grace Sarva-drik Prabhu joined ISKCON, and he was just 20 years old at that time, and he joined at Portland, Oregon. And at the time, Deena Bandhu Prabhu was the temple president. And I know also Deena Bandhu Prabhu because now he is based at Vrindavan. So 2009, with his wife, moved to Prabhupada Village, North Carolina, 2009. And 2018, they sold North Carolina farm property and moved permanently to Mayapur. So now he is preaching all over India and world. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. Our humble obeisances, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. So we can start, Prabhuji. Now it is 7:17. So we can start. Please, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pujari Nirvishesha Chandavadi Paschatya Deshatarani Vande Nanta Advaitashayam Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Nichopi Yat Prasadat Sad Bhakti Shastra Avartaka Nityananda Mahamnami Sarvananda Paramparam Harinama Nandevam Avaduta Shiromanim Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Panchako Pratyabhishcha Kripasindu Vacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavyo Namo. Thank you all for being here this evening and giving me the opportunity to try and say something about this all-important chapter in Chaitanya Caritamrita. It's fitting that the chapter begins with Guru Tattva, because what is spiritual life without Guru? It's a dream, it's a myth. We don't get Krishna from Krishna. Krishna doesn't give himself. He gives himself through his devotees. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur prayed, Krishna se tomar, Krishna dute par. Tomara shakati yache, amito kanga, Krishna, Krishna bole dai tava pache pache. He said, Krishna is yours. Krishna se tomar, and because he's yours, you have the power to give him. Tomara shakati yache, you have the shakti to give Krishna because he's yours. This is Krishna's extraordinary nature, is that the all-powerful, absolute personality of Godhead, the source of everything, of all that be, is controlled the infinitesimal Jiva soul by pure devotion, by bhakti. This is the power of bhakti. This is why bhakti is more difficult. People think, oh, bhakti is for old people and children, and they're very cute stories about Giridhari and Makkanchor. It's all very cute, but jnana is the real thing. No, Krishna is understood only by bhakti. And the first proposition of bhakti is Guru. They'll stop in a minute. They'll stop in a minute. Guru Padashraya, to take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna's representative. I was having a discussion with a friend, Nepali Brahmin friend in Denver, Colorado, who was saying, Krishna is my guru. I don't need a guru. I already have a guru. Krishna is my guru. He spoke Bhagavad Gita. I read Bhagavad Gita. He's speaking to me. Bas. What doesn't he understand? Chapter 4, verse 34, Tadvidhi Pranipatena, Pariprashnena Sevaya, Upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshana. If you want to be tattvadarshana, to see the absolute truth, to have a relationship with the absolute truth, to go back to the absolute truth's abode, Lord Krishna's abode. And what is the first principle? Pranipat. You have to surrender. Prakrishna Rupena Nipat. You have to completely surrender. But this rascal, I mean, he is a friend. But this rascal consciousness, I don't need a guru. Even in material world, if you want to learn auto mechanics, you just start taking apart engines and putting them, or taking apart transmissions and putting them back, trying to put it back together. You'll never get it back together the same. It's very technical. Fixing computers, software. Just start fooling around with it and hope for the best. Even in the material world, one requires a teacher. So why do people think I don't need a teacher? This is the atheistic mentality. One atheistic poet wrote one poem called Invictus. He wrote, "It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the soul. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul." This is complete atheism. And atheism rears its ugly head in many ways. And this is one of them. I don't need a guru. We need a guru because this is Krishna's system. It says, if you want to know me, if you want to become a knower of the absolute truth, then pranipat, surrender. Pariprashna, ask relevant questions and do some seva. Because what we get from Sri Guru is not free. Can you just walk into a grocery store, load up your basket with all kinds of goodies? Say, okay, thanks guys, bye. They'll arrest you because it's not free. There's a price to be paid for everything. And the price that we pay for the invaluable knowledge and blessing we get from Sri Guru is seva. Guru is not impersonal. He's not void. He's not zero. He's full of desires how to serve Krishna, how to serve his Guru. So a disciple has this mentality. How will I serve my Guru? This is Satsishya. Everybody talks about Sadguru. I have to find Sadguru, bona fide spiritual master. But are you bona fide Sishya? There has to be a reciprocation between Sadguru and Satsishya. And Satsishya's mentality is let me serve, let me surrender, let me inquire. And in the purport to this verse, Srila Prabhupada explains that when these three items are present, then there's a reciprocation of knowledge and blessing. And by that, one can also become Sadguru. And who is a Sadguru? A person who is Satsishya. Did anyone who violated the instructions and vows that he made to his Guru ever become Guru? Impossible. Impossible. And if they do, it's just cheating. The first definition of a bona fide Guru is that he's a bona fide disciple. So this whole chapter starts out offering obeisances to Guru. And many things are talked about in this chapter. Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana, Panchatattva, all the members of the Panchatattva were discussed. Prakash and Vilash expansions, Ishvara Shakti, many things are discussed. But the real essence, the beginning point, if we want to make progress in our spiritual life, is to have a very solid understanding of Guru Tattva. Because this is our foundation. If you're going to build a building, do you start on the first floor? Your building will collapse. If you want the building to last and weather the elements, the test of time, there has to be a strong foundation. And that foundation is our relationship with Guru. So the author begins, Vande Gurum. And it's interesting to note also, he says Vande Gurum. Gurum is plural. He doesn't say just Guru. That guy, he's my Guru. Who is our Guru? Whoever teaches us. They asked Srila Prabhupada one time, or some reporter, said, what do you think of Jesus Christ? Srila Prabhupada said, oh, he's our Guru. There are two understandings, and we should take note very carefully. Yasti Guru and Samasti Guru. Samasti Guru means how Guru is one. Srila Prabhupada I wrote this down, it's a very interesting quote, when he was speaking to the Gaudiya Math,
Prabhuji, sorry to sorry to interrupt. One point actually I miss to mention. One is that you can share the screen also from BACE. Any words you want to mention, refer, so you can share the screen from BACE, or Disha Mataji can also help it if you want to refer any words.
I don't really have it formatted like that. I can just read it, no problem. If someone wants to quote, I can send it to you. It's famous. It's a famous speech. It's a speech Srila Prabhupada gave in 1936 in front of the whole Gaudiya Math on the occasion of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's appearance day. So he spoke. This is one paragraph, very weighty paragraph. He said, "Gentlemen, the offering of such a homage as has been arranged this evening to the Acharya Dev is not a sectarian concern. For when we speak of the fundamental principle of Guru Dev or Acharya Dev, we speak of something that is of universal application. There does not arise any question of discriminating my Guru from yours or anyone else's. There is only one Guru who appears in an infinity of forms to teach you, me, and all others." Very, very important understanding. This is Samasti Guru, how Guru is one. So we all have different gurus, like everyone has a father. Father is, no one comes here without a father. Everyone has a father. But you love your father. Your father is not my father. I love my father, but I understand you have a father. I respect your father, but I love my father. My father conception, my Guru conception is Vyasti Guru. So both things should be understood. When we say Guru is one, this is not the Mayavad conception that Guru is impersonal, that one Guru means there's no individual soul. It's all the same soul, not this bogus Mayavad understanding. Guru is one because what is a Guru? He's representative of Krishna. We can't say, oh, he's a Western Guru, an Eastern Guru, tall Guru, short Guru, skinny Guru, fat Guru, old Guru, young Guru. Guru simply means the irreducible understanding of Guru is that he is representative of Krishna. So in this way, Guru is one, but they're all individuals. All individuals. And we have relationship in this way, Vyasti and Samasti Guru. You have to excuse me, I'm just recovering from a cold. My voice is shot. There's 40 devotees from Kanpur, IIT. I visited there back in August. So they all came here to Mayapur and we went on Parikram. So I've been talking all day, which is blissful, but it's been hard on my voice. So please excuse my physical condition.
Okay, bro. Okay.
So, I can try sharing this if you want. I don't know, because there's some other quotes I gleaned from this. How would I share it if I wanted to share it?
Vishnu Prabhu, can I please help? Vishnu Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, if you see in the down, there is a share screen option in green color. You can click on that and then click share button. It will share your screen.
Say share screen?
Yes, in the bottom of the Zoom, you will see a share screen green color option. Yes.
Okay, that was easy. So, Chaitanya Caritamrita, I gleaned these verses from Chaitanya Caritamrita that describe Guru Tattva. Because Srila Jiva Goswami says that the most difficult tattva to understand is Guru Tattva. Because from one point of view, we say, here is a man, is it not? He breathes, he has to eat, he has to sleep, he sometimes becomes diseased, sometimes he has to take rest, sometimes maybe he becomes angry, sometimes from one point of view, Guru is a human being. But he's also as good as God's Sakshat Hari. This verse that is highlighted, Guru Krishna Rupa Hana Shastura Pramani, Guru Rupa Krishna Kripa Karine Bhakti Gani. The Guru Krishna Rupa. The Krishna Rupa, Srila Prabhupada translate, as good as Guru, as good as Krishna. And we sing every morning, Sakshat Dhari Tvina Samasta Shastra, that Sakshat Dhari, that Guru is directly Sakshat Dhari. So these are apparently contradictory, inhospitable conceptions of Guru. On one side we say he's a man, on the other side we say he's a god. How is that? So this has to be understood carefully, because there is a class of person, especially in contemporary Hindu Dharma, it says Guru is God, directly God. Even I was invited one time to this group, they're called the Jai Guru people. And they worship this Nigamananda Saraswati directly as God. And they're all gopis. And I had to curtail, I had to bite my tongue to stop from breaking out in raucous laughter when the gopis came out in part of their program. There were 35, 40-year-old men with a 5 o'clock shadow, overweight, with lipstick and rouge and sari, and have their kurta, their choli, and the whole thing. And they're coming out like dancing like gopis. You're fat aging men. What don't you understand? They worship this person, they went on as God, as Guru. And there's another group here, even in Mayapur. What's that name? That group Maha's affiliated with? Bonu's group. Anukul Chandra. He's also,
Anukul Chandra Thakur.
You've heard, yes,
Yeah.
So-called Thakur. Kick on his face, Thakur. So he's Guru, his wife is he's God, his wife is a God, his kid is a God, everyone's God. So Guru Tattva is not such an easy thing to understand. We can think of it like this. If we look at Tulsi Maharani has leaves and flowers and roots and bark, cellulose, chlorophyll. We can say Tulsi is a plant, correct? Tulsi is a plant. But is that all there is to Tulsi? Of course not. We pray, Radha Krishna Seva Pava Vayabhilasi. Please, my desire, Sister Radha Krishna. Is it an empty prayer? Not at all. Ene Vedana Dana Sakiranu Gatukaro, Seva Adhikaro Diye Koro Nija Dasi. She can make us Dasi, eternal servant of the Lord in Goloka. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also made one beautiful Ashtakam, glorifying Brinda Devi, Tulsi Maharani. He said, Samasta Vaikuntha Shiromanashi Krishnasya Vrindavana Danyadami Data Dikare Vishavana Putra Vrinde Namaste Charanarabindam. Who is Tulsi? Brinda Devi. And Srimati Radha, and the verse is saying, of all the Vaikuntha planets, what is topmost? Goloka Vrindavan. And Srimati Radharani herself has given jurisdiction over all the activities of Braj to Srimati Brinda Devi Tulsi Mahar. How the wind will blow, what fragrance it will carry, what dress Srimati Radharani will wear, what flowers will decorate, how the kunja will look, what sweets will be offered, what drinks will be offered, what savors will be offered, everything, and what music will be played, what raga, everything is orchestrated by Brinda Devi. Just like an orchestra. You say there's the woodwind, the percussion, the brass, and there's a what do they call it? Conductor. He's with this wand, he's like this. He's conducting the whole show. Brinda Devi is doing this in Goloka. So from one point of view, a plant. But from another point of view, this soul who inhabits this body of Tulsi Maharani is Brinda Devi, an expansion of Brinda Devi. Srila Prabhupada said, same soul in every Tulsi. If you have 100 rose bushes, and there's 100 souls in each rose bush, individual soul. If there's 100 Tulsi Maharanis, one soul who expands herself for the service of the Lord. So Guru, we can understand something like that. That Guru has a body, a mortal body that will get old and has to pass from this world. This is facts of no one can check material nature. Because he's a Guru doesn't mean that his body would expire. In fact, Srila Prabhupada in his last days, lying on his disappearance bed, turned to his disciples in a very grave voice, said to them, "Don't think this won't happen to you." So because we've come here, everyone who's born must die. Even Guru can't remain in this world. So he has a mortal body, but who is he? Here we read. He's offering respects. Mantra Guru Ara Yata Siksha Guru Gana. Tanhara Charana Age Kariye Vandan. I first offer my respectful obeisances at the lotus feet of my initiating spiritual master and all my instructing spiritual masters. Yadyapi Amar Guru Chaitanya Radhas. Tatavi Janiye Ami Tanhara Prakash. Although I know that my spiritual master is a servitor of Sri Chaitanya, I know him also as a plenary manifestation of the Lord. Plenary manifestation. How does Krishna come before us? Can you see Krishna? We can't see. You can't even see the soul. Srila Prabhupada would say, my father is gone. Where did you see your father leave? Here's his body. Here's his hand. Here's his leg. Here's his face. Where is your father? Did you see a little spark of soul drifting off into the ionosphere? We can't see even the individual soul, what to speak of the supreme soul. So how does he come to us? How do we approach God? We approach him through his representative, who is as good as God. We say, Yasya Prasada, Bhagavat Prasada, Yasya Prasada, Nagati Kutopi. No, Sakshat Duretana Samasta Shastra, Uktastata Bhavyata Eva Sadbi, Kintu Prabhoya, Priya Eva Tasya, Vande Guru Shri, Charanara Vindam. So we say Sakshat Dari, that he's God, directly God. But one word changes everything. Kintu means but. He's very beloved to the Lord. How can he be beloved to the Lord and be the Lord? One word changes the meaning. So we emphasize this. He's the beloved servitor of the Lord, the supreme personality of servitor Godhead. And the supreme Lord is the supreme personality of served Godhead. So we don't have any misunderstanding about this. So he's Guru Krishna Rupa Hana. That he's Krishna Rupa, as good as Krishna. But no, I can't take one of those. Okay, me up with that. So Prabhupada writes in this purport, in italics, the relationship of a disciple with his spiritual master is as good as his relationship with the Supreme Lord. A spiritual master always represents himself as the humblest servitor of the personality of Godhead, but the disciple must look upon him as the manifested representation of Godhead. This very, very important paragraph. Let us dissect it a bit. That our relationship with the spiritual master is as good as our relationship with God. So we should examine, what kind of relationship do I have with my guru and with my gurus? Because Siksha Guru, which if you look, I shouldn't put it here, I didn't think I'd be posting this. In verse 34, I think, Srila Prabhupada says something very important about Siksha and Diksha Guru. It says that Siksha and Diksha Guru are equal and identical manifestations of Krishna. Quote unquote, I'll repeat that. Equal and identical manifestations of Krishna, Siksha and Diksha. And later on, in around verse 45 or 46, something like that, he explains that Siksha is also classified in two different categories. One is Siksha Guru, meaning someone who gives relevant instruction. He's not a liberated soul, but he's giving relevant instruction, and his objective is to uplift the disciple and bring him closer back home, back to Godhead. Second category of Siksha Guru is that liberated, all-perfect soul who is completely Krishna conscious. He's also giving Siksha. And together, in harmony with Diksha Guru, they're uplifting, they're delivering the soul back home, back to Godhead. And that's also an important idea that should be mentioned, because some people think, I have a Siksha Guru. But if your Siksha Guru is not in harmony with your Diksha Guru, you've made a big mistake. Siksha Guru is meant to make your relationship with your Diksha Guru more concrete, more real, more realized. He's not at odds with your Diksha Guru. Sometimes devotees have some misunderstanding with their Diksha Guru, and they may go to someone else. I accept him as my Siksha Guru. That's such a cheap thing. Siksha Guru is meant to reinforce your understanding, broaden and deepen your understanding of what you got from your Diksha Guru. And this is an important principle in an ISKCON society, because if an ISKCON Guru has tens of thousands of disciples, how will he have time to interact with all of them? It's impossible. His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj has more than 60,000 disciples. Do the math. There's only so many minutes in a year. How often will he be able to interact on a personal level with 60,000 disciples? It's impossible. It comes out like 30 seconds a disciple, something like that. So what is the solution? Solution is to have Siksha Gurus, someone in whom you have faith, in whom you have trust, and with whom you have a relationship that you can ask questions, you can learn from. And he is a representative of Krishna, and he is also representative of your Diksha Guru. It's meant to bring harmony in your relationship, to deepen and broaden your relationship with your Diksha Guru. So we should not make a mistake about this. It's sort of a popular thing. Oh, here's my, as people say blithely, oh, this is my Siksha Guru. Okay, but there's a qualification for Siksha Guru also, as much as there is qualification for Diksha Guru, because he's representative of the Lord. He's not independent, he's representative of the Lord, equal and identical manifestations of Krishna. So there's also a nice quote. I can get this through. Okay. Anyway, quote is your famous verse, Achayamam Vijaniyam Namamanyeti Ghanijit Namarti Buddhasuyata Sarva-drik Guru. Who is Guru? Krishna is saying, no, Uddhava, Achayamam Vijaniyam. Acharya is me, not different. Namarti Buddhasuyata. Don't think of him as a man of this world that lives and dies and breathes and just passes from this world. Don't make your buddhi, don't bring your buddhi, your intelligence to this stage where you think of Guru as someone who lives and dies. And this is important understanding also, because the day will come when your Guru will leave this world. Then are you without a Guru? Are we just worshiping? Is it empty worship when we gather and sing Srila Prabhupada's Guru Vandan? We're going to get to that also. We want to discuss Prabhupada's Guru Vandan. Is it an empty prayer? Is it an empty prayer? Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda. Prabhupada's gone, it's meaningless? No, he's present as much as Krishna is present. Even materially, even the most degraded material person, butcher, prostitute, najayate mayate va kadachin. They're not born and they don't die kadachit at any time. So what to speak of exalted eternal associate of the Lord? He goes back to Krishna and he's blessing us by his presence. How far away is Krishna? How far away is Prabhupada? As far as you want. He's as far away as you want. And he's as close as you want. So we should have this relationship, established relationship with Prabhupada, because it's available. Is our observation of the appearance and disappearance of great Vaishnava acharyas, is it just an empty ritual? When we observe Rupa Goswami's appearance, disappearance, Saraswati Thakur, Bhakti-vriksha Thakur, Lochan Das Thakur, Narottam Das Thakur, is it just an empty ritual? The mercy is available. Don't mistake. Don't make this. Their mercy is available as much as you want it. So, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur wrote, he who reasons ill, who says that Vaishnavas die, rather they die to live, and in living, what is it? Spread the holy name around. So it's an active principle, a real principle, tangible principle that we can experience in our own life. Now let me see if I can bring up this other page. Okay, there's more pages that won't come up. How do you get the second page?
Mr. Prabhu,
Hare
please
Krishna
help.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, if you scroll down, if you keep pressing the down arrow button in your system, it will go to the next page. You can keep pressing the down arrow a little bit, the cursor will move down.
Acha, okay. So there's some more quotes here from Chaitanya
Yes,
Caritamrita.
beautiful verse, Prabhu.
So Ishvara Swarupa Bhakta Tana Adishtan Bhaktira Hridayas Krishnera Satata Vishram. A pure devotee constantly engaged in the loving service of the Lord is identical with the Lord, who is always seated in his heart. So is Ishwar Swarup. Guru is Ishwar Swarup, identical with Krishna. Satata Vishram. The Krishna is always resting in his heart. Govind, or Narottam Das Thakur says, Govinda Vishram. And Govinda is always resting within the heart of pure devotee. And Srila Prabhupada said this is really one of the main things our objectives is to make our heart a suitable resting place for the Lord. He mentions that we can do this meditation, that I'm making a throne, a beautiful place for Krishna to sit within my heart. But the problem is there's many dirty things in our heart. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moha, Matsarja, lust, greed, anger, envy, fear. So many horrible things are in our heart. So the main work as sadhakas is to clean our heart, to make it a suitable place for Krishna to rest. Sri Guru has already done that work, mostly in their last life, and they've come back here just to serve exclusively, offer a life of service to their Guru and to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So these are one of the evidences of who is a bona fide Guru, someone whose heart is a resting place for the Lord. And this is a nice quote I put here. Sadhava hridayam mayam sadhanam hridayam taham mananyate na jananti naham tebyo managati. This verse comes in 9th Canto of Bhagavatam in the story of Durvasa Muni and Ambarish Maharaj. I'm sure you remember the story that Durvasa offends Ambarish and he's chased by Sudarshan Chakra all the way to Vaikuntha. And he throws himself at the feet of Lord Vishnu. Please save me. And Vishnu says, get lost, basically. You've offended my devotee. You go back and beg forgiveness from my devotee. At that place in Bhagavatam, these two beautiful verses come. That aham bhakta paradino na swatantra ivadvija sadobya grasti hridayam bhakta bhakta jano priya. He says, he told Durvasa Muni, oh Brahmana, that the devotees, I am controlled. Nasatantra ivadvija. Oh my dear Dvija, I have no independence. Imagine this. This is the amazing thing of bhakti. That the devotee controls the Lord. The Lord is telling Durvasa Muni, I have no independence. I'm under the control of my devotee. And then this verse comes. Sadhava hridaya mayam. That I am in the heart of the devotees, and the devotees are in my heart. I don't know anything but the devotees, and they don't know anything but me. This is loving relation. This is the core essence of bhakti. How much affection the devotee has for the Lord, how much affection the Lord has for devotee. So we want to grasp on, we want to enter that relationship. How do we enter that relationship? By accepting that person who has loving relationship with the Lord, Sri Guru. It's not just a rubber stamp. Okay, now you're a guru. But what kind of guru? What kind of relationship do you have with the Supreme Lord? We want to enter that. And for this, we accept Sri Guru. Because Shastra describes that the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is sufficient in itself for liberation. You can chant, you don't live prayaschitam, not prayaschitam. This preliminary activities of devotional life are not required. Nothing's required. You just have a tongue and you vibrate the holy name, you're liberated, you go back to Godhead. Someone may ask, why have a guru? Because it's something very, very important. You go back to Godhead, who are you serving under? Everyone has their master in Goloka. Loving master. All different relationships are there in Goloka. It's not that just you're going to become one of the Ashtasakis. That's all Mayavad, bogus, kick on your face nonsense. That we're the servant to the Sangopi Bhartu Padakamalayur, Dasa Das Anu Dasa, Dasi Dasi Ani Dasi. Servant to the servant of those beloved servants of the Lord. And that we sing also in the morning. This is also should be our meditation. What are they doing in the spiritual world? Yuktir apekshaniya. They're making tasteful arrangements for the service of Radha and Krishna. So some people say, all these nonsense people, all these ISKCON gurus, all bogus. How can anyone who says this does not understand the principle of Guru Parampara? As Srila Prabhupada, they're alone in the Kunja serving Radha Krishna, and there's no one to help him because he couldn't produce a pure devotee disciple. He's there all by himself, and he's just burdened with all this service to Radha Krishna, no one there to serve him. It's all bogus idea. Prabhupada is there, his disciples are there. One day his disciples are there, all serving Radha Krishna. Yuktir apekshani are making tasteful arrangements for the service of Radha Krishna and the Nikunjas. This is Guru Parampara. So how do we get there? By entering into these loving relationships with Guru. Not officially, but heartfelt. Our heart should be overwhelmed with, at least with gratitude, if not love. Look at your life today. Were it not for Srila Prabhupada, would you have a guru today? Would you be wearing tilak? Would you be wearing kantimala? Would you even be a vegetarian? Appreciate what Prabhupada did for the world. Appreciate what your Guru has done for you. He's accepted your karma. He's given you a clean slate. He's pushing you towards Krishna. He's accepting your service. At least we should be grateful and enter into this loving relationship, because the reflection of that, actually the origin of that, is relationship with Lord in Goloka. Can you give me some? As it is here, it is there. If you don't have a guru here, who is going to direct your service in Goloka? So you can chant without guru. Maybe you can go back and be a blade of grass, a bird, some creature in Shantaras. But if you want to serve Radha Krishna, you need a guru who's going to engage in service, because no one approaches Radha Krishna directly. Nobody. Except Ashtasakis. So as it is there, it is here. As a loving relationship between Sishya and Guru, that carries on in the next life also. So I wanted to go through this beautiful prayer we sing in the morning, Guru Vandan. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sarva. So why is it we say that Guru has lotus feet? Do they look like lotuses? Do they smell like lotuses? Are they the color of lotuses? Why do we say Shri Guru Charana Padma? Who knows the answer? Who can say?
May I answer, Prabhuji?
So what is the
lotus,
answer? Why do we say
lotus flower?
Yes, why are the lotus? Why do I say lotus feet of Guru?
Because lotus, they are not, contaminated with water or mud. Like Guru's feet also like that. They are not contaminated with the material modes of nature.
We're getting close.
Is always pure. It is always pure.
Guru lotus is called Padmaja. It is born from the mud.
Yes.
And Krishna says in Gita, Padma Patram Ivambasa. This would be like lotus, growing in filthy area, but aloof. So Guru's feet are called lotus because they're not part of this world. They're actually in the spiritual world.
Yes, Prabhuji.
They're not part of this, the filth of material contamination. So, and Kevala Bhakti Sadma. What does that mean? Kevala Bhakti Sadma. Sadma means the abode, where you find something. Where will you find Kevala Bhakti? At Guru Charana Padma. You'll not find Kevala Bhakti in Jnana and Yoga and Karma. You'll find Kevala Bhakti, unalloyed, pure devotion. It's found, its location, that is at the lotus feet of Shri Guru. So when we sing these songs, we have to bring our mind to the meaning. Then it becomes meditation. Then it becomes prayer. We enter into the mood of Narottam Das Thakur, who is begging mercy from his Guru. We say, your lotus feet are where I will find pure devotional service. But Bandham Mui Savadhana Mate, Savdhan, you know you're all Hindi speakers. And be careful. He's your best friend, but Goravena. Vishrambena means with intimacy. Guru's most intimate friend. But Goravena, with due respect. It's not that you can walk up to your Guru, slap him on the back. Hey, Guru Dev, how's it going today, man? Put your arm around his shoulder. Hey, Guru, hey. Is it possible? This is an offense. Savdhan. Srila Prabhupada writes in one purport that one can become degraded by being too intimate with Guru and with the deity. Why? Because if one is too intimate with Guru, he begins to think, oh, I saw him, he passed gas, he has to go use the bathroom, he burped, he had to take rest, he got a flu. And you begin to think, oh, he's an ordinary man. This is aparan. Navamanyeta karichit namatya buddha suyeta Sarva-drik Maya Guru. He's representative of all the demigods. He's not part of this world. But if you associate too closely, you become familiar. So, Narottam Das Thakur is saying here, Savdan, be careful. Don't go too close. Yahara Prasadi Bhai, He Bhava Turiya, by His grace, He Bhava Turiya Jai, we cross over the whole material ocean. Can you do that in a boat? What is the boat to cross the ocean? Guru Charana Padma. Like when Ram and Sita and Lakshman wanted to cross River Sarayu, they had nothing. So they approached from boatmen to beg, can you take us across? We have nothing. The boatman said, yes, I will take you across, but you take me across this ocean of samsara. So how do we cross the ocean of samsara? In the boat, Sri Guru Charana Padma. By his prasad, by his mercy, oh brothers, Bhava Turiya Jai, we cross the ocean of Bhava, repeating birth and death. And Krishna Prapti, we get Krishna. Again, Krishna is not available from Krishna. Krishna is available from Krishna's devotee. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya, again Padma. His mouth is like Padma because he's always speaking Harikatha. Oh, what is coming out of his mouth? What if our Guru is talking politics, cricket match, soccer game, football, stock market, movies? What's coming out of his mouth? Only Krishna Katha. So Narottam Das Thakur is praying, Chittete Koriya Aikya, let my chitta, our Koriya Mani Asha, let my consciousness, my chitta, be one with the instructions coming from the lotus mouth of my spiritual master. This is what it means to be disciple. Disciple isn't just a rubber stamp. People say rubber stamp guru. There can be rubber stamp disciple also. If you're not following the instructions of your spiritual master, what kind of disciple are you? Prabhupada would say you're not even a gentleman. What to speak of disciple? So we have to follow instructions of Guru. He's not giving them for his own benefit. He's giving them for our benefit. So a bona fide disciple will follow instructions, make his mind one with instructions coming from the lotus mouth of the spiritual master. Shri Guru Charani Rati is a Uttama Gati. It's beautiful poetry also, Narottam Das Thakur. Charani Rati, attachment to his lotus feet, Rati, for his lotus feet is my goal of my life, Uttama Gati. I don't want anything higher. There's nothing higher than that for me. And we should have that feeling for our Guru and for Srila Prabhupada. This is the pride of a disciple is to have instructions of his spiritual master, relationship with the spiritual master. This is the wealth of his life. This Uttama Gati, topmost objective. By his mercy, all our asha, all our hopes, all our desires, all our objectives, aspirations in life, by his mercy, they're fulfilled. What is we're destined to suffer life after life in the material world. But Srila Prabhupada changed all that. By his mercy, by his prasad, by his grace, by his benediction. So be careful what kind of desire you have. Have pure desire. And Sri Guru can fulfill that desire. The Chakudha Dila Jai Janme Janme Prabhu said, you know, that person who opened my eyes is my Lord birth after birth. And this is what we're talking about when we say is eternal servitude, going back to Goloka and serving Guru in relationship with your Guru, under his instruction, under his blessing, under his loving glance. We serve Radha Krishna, life after life. So that person who's opened my eyes, who's propped open Oma Jnana Timanasya Jnana Janashala Chakshurun Meditanjena, who's opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge, he's my Lord, birth after birth. And what is he doing? Dibya Gyan Vide Prakash. He's giving Dibya Gyan. Even if you can't read. We were just at Srila Gorka Shornas Babaji Maharaj's Samadhi today. He was illiterate. He couldn't sign his own name. But he was fully self-realized person. How did that happen? Dibya Gyan Vide. All knowledge was manifest in his heart. How? When one has complete faith in spiritual master. Yasya deve para bhakti yata deve tata guru tasyaiti katita yarta prakashanto mahatmana. If someone has absolute faith in the Lord and in Sri Guru, prakashante mahatmana, all the imports of Vedic knowledge are automatically revealed to him within his heart. Dibya Gyan Hride, within the heart, Prakash, are manifest. So we sing this every morning. We should remember what is available to us. Full blessing of the Lord is available by this process. Dibya Gyan Hride Prakash. Prema Bhakti Jaha Hoite Yabin Yabinashan. The Prema Bhakti is very, very rare. So we can't say this song is applicable to one and all. If Prema Bhakti is emanating from you, and this song applies to you. If it's not, this song does not apply to you. Avidya Vinasha Jati. And he's destroying all avidya, all ignorance. Vedigai Jahara Chanito. The Vedic literature sings of his glory. Sri Guru Karuna Sindhu. He's an ocean of mercy. Adama Janara Bandhu. He's a friend of Adhamas. And that's us. And certainly it was me. You're all born in India, have much more pious birth. But he's the friend of the fallen, especially Westerners, who are engaged in all kinds of horrible, sinful activities, who picked us up, the Adhamas. So who can be a better friend than someone who gives you Krishna? Lokanath Lokera Jivana. So we should also sing Prabhupada Lokera Jivana. And he's the life of all the worlds. That Narottam Das Thakur is saying this about his guru, Lokanath Goswami. But we're singing this song for Srila Prabhupada, not for Lokanath Goswami. We have all regard for Lokanath Goswami, of course. But we're singing the song for Prabhupada, so we should also sing Prabhupada Lokera Jivana, who's the life of all the worlds. And Ahaha Prabhu Kora Doya Deha Moripada Chaya. And give me the shade of your lotus feet. We're beggars. Spiritual life means life of begging mercy. Don't be casual. Oh yeah, I'll get mercy when it comes, whatever happens, We should beg. We should beg mercy from Guru. Give me the shade of your lotus feet. Without that shade of your lotus feet, I'm simply going to hell. So don't neglect me. I'm a rotten servitor. I'm a fallen disciple. But don't neglect me. Always give me shade of your lotus feet. And Ebe Jas Kushukti Bhavana. Let me make his fame, spread his jas all over the world. And that's happening. Prabhupada has become more famous since his disappearance than he was when he was present. Hundreds, thousands of times more famous since his disappearance. And that will only increase. As ISKCON grows more and more, Srila Prabhupada's fame will automatically grow more and more. Tribhuvana, all over the three worlds. How much time do we have?
Yes, we can go up to 8:20, Prabhu. After that, we can take a question answer session.
Okay, I just wanted to mention that you can see in the bottom here that the Gaudiya Math is making a celebration on the 150-year anniversary of the appearance of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. That's wonderful. It's great.
Excellent, excellent. Great.
And I'm sure ISKCON will participate also. Our participation may be marked by the opening of the largest temple in India, the largest Radha Krishna temple in India. Such a wonderful offering to Saraswati Thakur. Now, they're managing to do this, but it occurred to me, and I'm not being political, but I think we should have this perspective, that
Yes,
were it not for our Prabhupada, because they object, they think that the title Prabhupada is exclusive to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. It is not. The word Prabhupada is a title. We can say Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, and A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. It's a title. But they object to that. There's a class of devotees, not all, some are very respectful to our Srila Prabhupada and call him Srila Prabhupada. But there's another class that objects to this, and they're making propaganda to promote Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, no other Prabhupada, this Prabhupada, only this Prabhupada, Prabhupada. But we should understand, who in the world knows anything about Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, were it not for the preaching effort of our Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, our Prabhupada. Why is Saraswati Thakur's picture in Kenya, in Africa, in China, all over Europe, in Mexico, America, Australia, Europe? Only because of our Prabhupada. He made Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur famous. So this is an empty celebration if they don't acknowledge the contribution of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and give him due, because he fulfilled our Srila Prabhupada, fulfilled the vision and the desire not only of Sri Chaitanya, we say that Srila Rupa Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam. What was the Manobhishtam of Srila Rupa Goswami? That the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be spread all over the world. Who fulfilled it? Who fulfilled the mission of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur? Our Srila Prabhupada, no one else. Other devotees are preaching, we offer pranam to them. They're Vaishnavas, we bow down, we wash their feet. We'll happily drink the water that has washed the feet of Vaishnavas. But Prabhupada's place, his contribution to Gaudiya Vaishnavism in the world should not be neglected. That is my point. And he should be referred to as Prabhupada because of his extraordinary contribution to Gaudiya Vaishnavism. It's not a rubber stamp. Not anyone can become Prabhupada. But a devotee that made Mayapur, who made Vrindavan, who distributed 260 million books around the world and is spearheading a worldwide, international, intergalactic movement, should be given credit. That is the point. And this isn't just a sectarian thing. I'm not ranting about it as a disciple. These are just objective truths. The world should acknowledge the contribution to human society that was made by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Without his contribution, no one knows anything about Krishna outside of India. There's no Gurukulas, there's no art, there's no farm communities, there's no Govindas restaurants, there's no drama, there's no music. All of that is a contribution to the world of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So to celebrate the 150th anniversary of the divine appearance of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is wonderful. We hope to participate. We wish them all success. But don't gloss over the contribution of the person who fulfilled the desire of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who was blessed by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world to every continent on the planet. So please think over these. You understand?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So anyone has any comment, question?
So please ask the participant requested. Please ask question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat pranam Mataji, Hari Bol.
Hare Bol Prabhu. Thank you for your nice class. Prabhuji, my question is, why is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur called Siddhanta, and why is our Prabhupada called Bhakti Vedanta? What is the difference?
Because these are the titles that were given to them. Saraswati Thakur received this title, Bhakti Siddhanta, in his youth, because he was had extraordinary intellect, and he published his book, Surya Siddhanta. I had a copy at one time, and I opened it up. I can't understand one word hardly. Such technical mathematical formulas about the movement of planets in the creation. So he was given this title Saraswati. But when he took sannyas, he became Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. It's a title. And Bhakti Vedanta was the title of many of the disciples of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. And sannyas name given to many of the disciples. Sannyas name plus Bhakti. Bhakti Vedanta, Swami Maharaj, Bhakti Vedanta, Vaman Maharaj, Bhakti Vedanta, Pragyan Keshav Maharaj. So Bhakti Vedanta, Bhakti, you understand, Veda Anta, means that Bhakti is the conclusion of all the Vedas. So this is one of the main messages of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He declared, we say, Rupa Noga Virodhapa Siddhanta Danta Harine. Then he declared absolute totalitarian war in any conception that contradicted the teachings of Srila Rupa Goswami. So there's a class of persons saying that Bhakti is not the conclusion of Vedanta. So he's saying, no, this is the conclusion of Vedanta, it's Bhakti. Vedaisha Sarvara Hameva Vedyo Vedanta Grid Vedavid Eva Cham. That Krishna and Krishna Bhakti is a conclusion of all Vedanta. So Bhakti Vedanta is a title that was given to sannyas disciples of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. Does that answer your question, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
And anyone else can add anything to that? Any other question?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Sorry, I am not able to switch on the video. I think there is an issue in the laptop. But thank you for your nice discourse. It was really very, very nice. I had two questions, Prabhu. The first one is, I am a student.
So what's your name? Please say your name. Your name.
My name is Disha Das. Prabhu, I am 23 years old and I am a student. And Prabhu, like today's discussion was about Guru. So when I went to my school and my colleges, there were many professors and teachers whom I met there. So Prabhu, my question is, should we consider them as Guru? Because they had non-veg, they used to come to class drunk, they were good teachers, they were good in imparting the knowledge like chemistry or maths or physics, but the etiquette wise, it was not up to the mark. So my first question is, how should we treat them, like when the word Guru or teacher comes? And the second is the instructions which we get from our spiritual masters on the spiritual path and the instructions which they give us for our career oriented path is very different. Like I am preparing for competitive exams. So where I study from, they tell that you should study 15 hours a day, 16 hours a day, study at night, everything is quiet at that time. So they give instructions like that. But when it comes to the spiritual masters, they ask us to devote ourselves towards the spiritual path and balance. So how should a student who is studying should balance it out?
Okay, thank you for nice questions, Disha Mataji. You brought up some very good issues. First thing is, guru is a generic term. We can say music guru, math guru, cooking guru, but that doesn't mean that guru has any spiritual characteristic to his life. When we say Sadguru, this means God's representative. And this is the personality that Shastra is telling us to approach. Tadvidhi pranipatina, to surrender to Sadguru. If someone gives you knowledge, you're indebted to them, even if they don't have personal sadachar or good qualities, good habits. If they're teaching you, we should respect them because they're giving you knowledge. But only take spiritual knowledge from someone who is God's representative. Would you take, for example, legal advice from any guy on the street, or medical advice, financial advice? You should approach a doctor, approach a financial consultant, approach an advocate who's qualified. So for spiritual deliverance, for progress in spiritual life, you have to approach Sadguru. So in a generic way, you can say, yes, he's your math guru, he's your philosophy guru, in a generic way. But Sadguru means someone who is beloved servant to the Lord, who also has sadachar, who behaves in a ideal way. He doesn't behave in any reprehensible, horrible way, like drinking alcohol or so many other things that people do, eating non-veg, so many horrible things people do. That person can never be Krishna's representative. He can be representative in your classroom to teach you mathematics because that's all he's good for. He can't teach you the mysteries of life. He can't teach you about God. He can't help you be self-realized. He can help you get a good grade in your math test. So for that, be grateful. But don't conflate your math guru with Sadguru. That's all. As far as taking advice and balancing, your second question. This is the problem that many devotees face, because the majority of devotees, they want Krishna, they want self-realization, but by their karma, by their own life circumstance, they find themselves engaged in seeking employment, seeking education, seeking marriage, seeking many things of this world. So Krishna consciousness doesn't mean to completely renounce the world. Rather, it means to understand that the things of this world are the products of the Lord. So great devotees like Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the father of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he wrote one beautiful bhajan. He said, Manasa deho geho yo kichumor, arpilantu apade Nandakishore. He said, oh Nandakishore, oh Krishna, my beloved Krishna, that my mind, my body, my home, whatever little bit I call my own, I offer to you. Why? Because it's his. Everything is the property of the Lord. What can we own in this? We don't own our own body. We can't hold on to our own body. Our own body is the property of the Lord. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is praying, please accept my life and everything connected with it as your property. Let me live my life for your happiness, for your satisfaction and pleasure. This is spiritual life. But it doesn't mean you have to go live in an ashram, shave your head, live the life of Tyagi. Bhaktivinoda Thakur had 10 children. He was a magistrate. He ran the whole Puri temple. He was a magistrate for the British Raj also.
Haribol, Haribol. Nice example given, Prabhuji. Nice example.
And he produced such amazing children as Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and produced volumes of wonderful priceless Vedic literature. These simple Bengali prayers. Srila Prabhupada said one time, he said, these prayers of Narottam Das Thakur, Lochan Das Thakur, Bhakti-vriksha Thakur, and they're non-different from the Vedas, non-different from the Vedas, non-different from the Vedas, 3 times he said. Because in simple Bengali language, they're expressing the essence of all Vedic Shastra. In simple Vedic language, this manasa deho geyo, yokichumor. Whenever a little bit is mine, yokichumor. Arpelan tua pade, oh, please accept from me. Marabi rakabe yo achataha. That in my life or my death, everything is yours. Radha Krishna Pranamor Jugala Kishore Jimana Marane Gati Arna Himor Narottam Das Thakur pray. Radha Krishna, you're my everything. You're my life. In life and death, you're nothing, there's nothing more than you. So they're expressing the acme, the essence of all Vedic literature in simple Bengali language. So we can learn so much from them. How to live our life, and they're not renunciates, they're not tyagis. We can learn how to live our life in this world by studying the works of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Narottam Das Thakur, Lochan Das Thakur, Krishna Das, Govinda Das. Is that helpful to you, Disha Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
And good luck on your exams.
Yes, Prabhu. I really need your blessings. Please bless me that I'm.
My blessings aren't for passing exams. My blessings are to become Krishna conscious.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu.
But good luck anyway.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu.
I know you do well. Krishna help you. Mudi Mudivatamasmi Tejas Namaham. Krishna says, I'm the intelligence of an intelligent person. I'm the strength of the strong. So be first class devotee and Krishna will always help you.
Thank you.
And Karunaka Mataji, आप प्रश्न पूछ सकते हो. आप करुणा माताजी एक्चुअली भक्तिचार्य महाराज का बहुत सीनियर डिसाइपल है, तो आज ज्वाइन किया हुआ है. करुणा माताजी, if you have any queries, so you can ask. Bengali, Hindi, English, whatever language you feel comfortable. Mataji, I am audible.
She's muted. Tell her she's muted. Can you unmute her?
Just a minute.
Mataji, you're muted.
माताजी आप उसको अनम्यूट कर दीजिए. आप म्यूटेड है, उसको अनम्यूट कर दीजिए. हाँ, फिर बोलिए. हाँ, yes,
Prabhuji, I'm very pleased to hear all about this Guru Tattva. Yes, very nice by hearing, and there is no comments on it. It's very, very it's a blessing that you made us clear, very clear. So nice. So thank you, Prabhuji. Thank
okay,
you.
well, I did my job then.
Yes.
If you're happy, I'm happy.
Really, really, it's very nice to hear about Guru Tattva so clearly. So thank you very much again. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And माताजी भक्तिचार्य महाराज का बहुत सीनियर डिसाइपल है, मतलब काफी पुराना डिसाइपल है भक्तिचार्य महाराज का. और विष्णु प्रभु, आपका कोई क्वेश्चन है तो पूछिए. विष्णु प्रभु,
yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. So Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you very much for the nice clarity you gave about the Guru Tattva and about Sri Guru Charana Padma prayers. It was very deep, and I understood a lot of things from you. So my question now is about so when Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur disappeared, Prabhuji, so he never officially made any person as a successor of the Mutt. Similarly, our Srila Prabhupada, during his disappearance, he never officially made one person as the successor. Like he named some 12 GBC members sort of thing, like 12 representatives of for future. So like, because Guru should have the power to absorb the karma of his disciple, and also he is the sum total of all demigods, and he should have that much Shakti and power, right? So So nowadays we see so many gurus in ISKCON, and how should we understand, like, from the concept of bona fide spiritual master in terms of their power and the current ISKCON? We have so many gurus. How should we understand their position and the position of Srila Prabhupada and, our parampara acharyas?
Thank you for a nice question, Prabhu. Two things occurred to me. First is we should not fall into the trap of comparing contemporary ISKCON gurus to Srila Prabhupada. There'll never be another Prabhupada. Well, that's maybe a bit fanatical. The Lord can send anyone here he desires. But Srila Prabhupada's position is unique. Prabhupada would say, Hey Guru Jnana Deena Bandhu Swananda Data Kurunai Kasindhu Vrindavana Asina Hitavatar Prasida Radha Pranaya Praja. And he's Vrindavana Asina Hita. He's coming from Goloka. So the ultimate issue, whether if someone's coming from Goloka or they're coming from here to Goloka, whether one is Nitya Siddha or Sadhana Siddha or Kripa Siddha, Siddha is Siddha. Perfect is perfect. Srila Prabhupada was Nitya Siddha devotee. There was never a time in his life when he was forgetful of his relationship with the Lord. So some of our ISKCON acharyas don't fall in that category. Just to be perfectly frank, they're not. Some may be Nitya Siddhas, but that's not for me to say yes or no. I'm just speaking from a philosophical point of view. So even if someone is not Nitya Siddha, if they become Siddha, if they become perfect in their relationship with the Lord and they're representing the Lord purely, they're qualified to be spiritual master. Now, I heard an explanation that made sense to me. So there's different kinds of spiritual masters. One spiritual master has both feet in Goloka. He is completely liberated soul. And we saw devotees like that. Like my revered godbrother, Srila Gauragovinda Maharaj. Completely liberated soul, pure devotee. Sent many amazing stories about him. Other devotees may not be in that same category of having both feet in the Goloka, but 1 foot in Goloka, 1 foot here. They can bring you there. Another guru may have both feet in the material world. I'm using it as an analogy, if you follow. Both feet in the material world, if he's giving relevant instructions, and Srila Prabhupada said this, even if someone's Kanishta Bhakta, if he's giving relevant instructions, he's as good as a pure devotee. It's like if someone gives you, if someone has never driven, say from Mayapur to Calcutta, he knows the directions, but he's never driven it himself. He can get you there by giving you relevant directions, as long as he doesn't change the instruction. Say, this is how you get there. If you follow these steps, you will get to Calcutta. He may not have ever been there himself, but he can tell you how to get there. Another devotee is halfway to Calcutta. Another devotee lives in Calcutta. He can tell you very well, he's driven 100 times. So there's different classes of Vaishnavas. We're not all, we shouldn't be, fanatical. We shouldn't be just artificially labeling persons. What does pure devotee mean? Prabhupada said all my disciples are pure devotees. There's plenty of my godbrothers, they're just in Maya. To be frank, Prabhupada said, they're all pure devotees. There's plenty just in Maya. But Prabhupada saw them all as pure devotees. So pure devotee is a generic term. And it's also a specific term, depending on how you apply it. Like we were talking about guru. Guru is generic term, and it's also a specific term. Who is that guru who can deliver you from the material world and establish you in your relationship in Goloka? This is Sadguru. He's also guru. But the guru that comes into your class drunk is not Sadguru. And you can't conflate the two. So in a similar way, when we say spiritual master, there are many kinds of spiritual masters, many qualified people in our ISKCON society that can give you Krishna. But don't be sentimental, thinking, they've all descended from Goloka. Maybe, maybe not. And if you don't have the sentimental idea, then if there's some discrepancy If there's some problem, your life isn't shattered. You place your faith according to your relationship with them, number one. Number two, and their own progress is their own discernible progress in spiritual life. There's some amazing devotees in ISKCON. And there's some devotees that maybe not so wonderful. It's a very big society. This is why Shastra tells us that one should examine the character of his guru for 1 year and ask, can this person deliver me from the material world? And guru should examine disciple. Will this person follow my instruction? So there should be a period of mutual examination to understand what is the character of guru, what is his power. It's a little controversial subject. I hope I didn't say anything unshastric or uncalled for. And this is my realization also.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
And Shankar Aranya Prabhu, if you have any query, so please
Hare Krishna.
ask. Otherwise,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I have a lot of questions, but I don't think we have so much time. But I like to ask few questions which has been troubling me for a very long time. Prabhuji, like Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru, you said Shiksha Gurus reestablish the faith in the Diksha Guru. But quite often, if there is some controversy between Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru, so whom we should give the importance? Because we are more near to Shiksha Guru rather than Diksha Guru. Because Shiksha Guru always, on daily basis, we meet them, they know more in depth of us rather than Diksha Guru. But if we see some differences in Diksha and Shiksha Guru, so how we should balance and whom we should go with, at the end of the day?
That's a very thoughtful question, Prabhuji. Thank you. We can look at our own Guru Parampara. Srila Bhaktivinoda, if you ask most devotees, who is the Guru of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur? They say, oh, Jagannath Das Babaji.
no.
Jagannath Das Babaji is the Shiksha Guru. Shiksha Guru is?
Bipin Bihari Goswami.
Yes. It's this controversial relationship. Bhaktivinoda Thakur would put his head at the feet of Bipin Bihari. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur couldn't tolerate because he saw him as a Kanishta Bhakta. So there's this conflict in our parampara, and this is a whole other discussion. But back to your question, in the ideal world, which is sometimes possible, sometimes not, Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru, there's harmonious relationship. But one should follow that person from whom one gets the most encouragement in spiritual life, is the short answer. Who is the most important? If you have Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, who is the most important Guru in your life? The person who brings you closer to Krishna. The person from whom you're getting the most spiritual encouragement, the most spiritual nourishment. He is the prominent Guru in your life. Because some devotees, again, this is slightly controversial. They will get initiated, they'll get a name, they'll get a kanti mala, they'll get a picture, but they don't have any relationship with their Guru. But if they're getting more encouragement, more juice, more knowledge from a Shiksha Guru, who is prominent in their life? Diksha Guru is required. We can't deny Shastra. But who is prominent? Who is prominent in the life of Bhaktivinoda Thakur? Jagannath Das Babaji. We have a Shiksha Guru is prominent. Shiksha is prominent in our parampara. So who is prominent in your life? And if there's some disagreement, then that has to be understood in the light of Shastra, because what gives Guru authority? Any Guru, Shiksha, Diksha, Nam, Mantra, who gives any authority is Shastra. Srila Prabhupada says Shastra is the center of everything. Prabhupada's authority is Shastra. We understand Prabhupada's instructions through Shastra. So if there's some discrepancy, we understand from Shastra. Shastra Vidi. The Shastra Vidi Ucha Javartate Kamakar Nasa Siddhim Avapnoti Nasukam Na Param Gati. So if there's some discrepancy between what Siksha Guru is teaching and Diksha Guru is teaching, refer to Shastra, because their authority, Siksha and Diksha, comes from Shastra. I can say that. I can't think of anything more to say, Prabhuji. It's a deep topic. Deep topic.
Yeah, I got your answer, Prabhuji. I got the point. Prabhuji, there is one more question. Like Chokshudan Diloje Janme Janme Prabhu Shai, that there's one line in Guru Vandana. So what is the meaning of this line? This in your next birth, again Prabhupada will be your Diksha Guru like this, or the birth and birth you take, our Diksha Guru is same birth after birth, or they may differ, because Janme Janme Prabhu Shai. So I have been asking this question quite a lot, you know, that this stanza, you know.
That we can understand. We briefly discussed Samasti Guru and Dasti Guru. This makes sense. This line makes sense from the standpoint of Samasti Guru. The Guru is one. And your Diksha Guru are different souls of this world, but they're one also. So if we apply this process thinking in terms of Samasti Guru, Guru is one, another soul may be your Guru, but he's also as good as your Guru. So if I take birthing, and I use myself as an example, I expect to take another birth. I had such a slow start in Krishna Bhakti, being born in America. So I'm singing Chakhudhan Diloje Janme Janme. He who opened my eyes with the touch of knowledge, he is my Lord, birth after birth. So Prabhupada may come, but Prabhupada may come as another person. He said, I'll come to you in my absence. I'll come to you by the instructions of other devotees, and I will come in your dreams. So it's not that we can say that Prabhupada will come back to give me initiation again. Maybe he will, maybe he won't, but it will be Prabhupada. Prabhupada in the context of Samasti Guru, Guru is being one. Another Jiva soul, another beloved servant of the Lord, coming to deliver me from this world as Prabhupada's representative. I understand it in that way. I don't have a second answer for you. I don't know if that makes sense to you or not, but that's how I understand it.
Prabhuji, one last question. This Guru Vandana can be sang for our own Diksha Guru. It is only meant for Prabhupada only.
The controversial point is this line, Prema Bhakti Jaha Hoiti, Avidya Vinasa. Everything else is applicable, but Prema Bhakti Jaha Hoiti. Is Prema Bhakti a rubber stamp? And you can sing this song for any ISKCON Guru, or any Guru, any Gaudiya Guru. Is Prema Bhakti emanating from them? I won't assume to answer that question myself. But you have to ask yourself. Prema Bhakti is emanating one sense that they're giving instructions on the path of Prema. They're teaching what is the path of Prema. They're engaging disciples that will give the effect of Prema in due course of time. This is Harinam Sankirtan gives Prema. The fruit of Harinam Sankirtan is Prema. So in sort of a tangential way, we can say that's true, but directly, I would hesitate to say that Prema is emanating from every Guru in ISKCON for whom this, if we're going to sing this song, and I've heard it sung for many of my godbrothers by their disciples. But I'll leave that for you to decide. It's not for me to decide whether Prema is coming from your Guru or not.
I got my answer, Prabhuji. I got the direction from your answer.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
I don't mean to criticize anyone, but
no,
we're having a
Prabhuji.
discussion.
I got the point of direction of my thinking. You know how I should be reaching a Fine, Prabhu. Thank you for your answer.
Very thoughtful questions, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, so thank you so much, Prabhuji, once again. And despite your bad throat, you have spent so much time with us with your question and session answer. This is so nice and insightful, Prabhuji. So thank you so much, and our humble obeisances at your lotus feet, Prabhuji.
Humble obeisance is the lotus feet of all devotees. You also have lotus feet because they're marching back home, back to Godhead.
Yes, bless us and guide us, Prabhuji, time to time. Thank you so much,
Okay.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you so much.
Sakal Prabhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo.
Namaste.